My name is Jennifer Simpson, and I'm the assistant manager at Goodwill in Opelika. I'm originally from South Alabama, and I moved up here 3 years ago. I'm a single mom of 3 kids. My oldest son just turned 18. He's in college. He's got 2 more years left, and then I have an 8-year-old daughter and then a 5-year-old daughter. I was in a domestic violence fueled relationship, marriage with my ex-husband. I was an addict for over 20 years. I still am an addict. I'm in recovery. I've been in recovery for 3 years. The reason that I asked for help was because I wanted to get out of a bad marriage. I didn't want my children to have to live in that situation and grow up thinking that it's normal. And I also wanted to get clean and knew that I could not stay clean if I was being abused regularly. I reached out to a family friend who happened to be the sheriff of the county that we were living in. He sent a deputy out while my husband was at work, helped me pack our stuff up, and we left. We went to the domestic violence shelter at that point. If I hadn't done what I did, I wouldn't. My family would have buried me. I know that. Between the drugs and, the ex-husband, that's just, I know without a shadow of a doubt I wouldn't have made it. I've had a couple of overdoses. I've been beaten, put in the hospital, so it's just one of those things where you got to do what you got to do, and although you don't know what the outcome's going to be, you just got to take that step. It was very difficult living at the shelter with 2 little kids and being around other families as well that you're not familiar with. It was a big adjustment for us. I was there almost 6 months at the domestic violence shelter with the girls. I reached out to Goodwill because the shelter had said that they had a career center inside the store. I came in and I spoke with Stuart, and I started putting in applications, and before I went to leave, he said, "Would you consider working for Goodwill?" And I said, "Absolutely." So I went back and I put in an application on the website, and then I interviewed with Sheila, and she hired me on. I was actually hired on as a part-time runner. And then a few months later, I moved up to a retail specialist, or what we call a team lead now. And then I moved up to production manager and then assistant manager. Initially, whenever I started getting promoted, I didn't feel like I was doing a good enough job. I felt like I had to be perfect. I had to be a perfect mom. I had to be the perfect team member. I had to be the perfect boss, I guess you could say. I give 150% each and every time that I get out there and do something. Whenever I was first coming in here and I was getting all these promotions, I didn't understand what I was doing that was so good. I just thought that I was being average, and I kept my head down. I did my job. I went home. I took care of my children. But looking back now, everything over the last 3 years has made me who I am today. Goodwill has actually given me a purpose, and it gives me something to be proud of. It makes me feel like I've made big accomplishments since I left a bad marriage. I'm more relaxed now than I was in the past. I was always stressed out, and I was very hard on myself. But to this day, I am still hard on myself. I hold myself to a higher standard because I know that I can achieve anything that I put my mind to. If I could handle living in a shelter with 2 children, no vehicle, no place to really call home, then I could do anything.